The rain pounded against the windows of my small apartment in suburban Chicago like it was trying to break in. I stood there, dripping wet, staring at the door across the hall, my heart racing faster than the storm outside. I needed help fixing a leaking pipe under my sink. Nothing major, but my tools were buried in storage, and I couldn't afford a plumber on my barista salary. With a deep breath, I knocked, expecting my straight-laced neighbor, Paolo, to grumble about the late hour and lend me a wrench. Instead, when he opened the door, his eyes locked onto mine with an intensity I'd never seen, and before I could speak, he pulled me inside, pressed his lips to mine, and everything I thought I knew about him, and myself, shattered in that single electrifying moment. I stumbled back, my mind reeling as the door clicked shut behind us. Paolo, the guy who'd always talked about his ex-girlfriends and football games, was kissing me? Me, Ethan, the quiet gay guy who'd moved here to escape the judgmental stares of my small-town family back in Ohio? What the hell, Paolo? I gasped, wiping my mouth instinctively, though my body betrayed me with a rush of heat I hadn't felt in years. He stepped away, his face flushed, hands trembling as he ran them through his dark hair. I don't know, he muttered, avoiding my eyes. You've been on my mind, Ethan. Every time I see you in the hall, smiling that way, I thought I was straight. Hell, I am straight. Or was. The words hung in the air like smoke, thick and suffocating. I wanted to bolt, to pretend this hadn't happened, but something in his vulnerability pinned me in place. We stood there in his dimly lit living room, surrounded by unpacked boxes from his recent move-in. He'd only been here a month. The storm outside mirrored the chaos inside me. I'd come out in college, faced the backlash from friends who drifted away, but I'd built a life here, anonymous and safe. Paolo was the epitome of normal. Tall, athletic, with a job in finance downtown, always polite but distant. This can't be real, I said, my voice barely above a whisper. You're engaged, aren't you? I saw the ring on your finger last week. He winced, twisting the band on his left hand. Yeah, to Sarah. We've been together since high school. Weddings in 6 months. The confession hit like a punch. So this was it. A momentary lapse? Experiment? But the way his eyes searched mine screamed otherwise. I need to go, I said, turning toward the door, but he grabbed my arm gently. Wait, Ethan, please. I don't know what this means, but I can't ignore it anymore. That night, I lay awake in my bed, the leak forgotten, replaying the kiss over and over. It wasn't just physical. It was a spark that ignited questions I'd buried deep. Why him? Why now? By morning, the storm had cleared, but my thoughts hadn't. I avoided the hallway for days, ducking out early for work at the coffee shop, coming home late. But Chicago's winters are unforgiving, and one evening, as I fumbled with my keys, there he was, waiting. We need to talk, Paolo said, his voice steady but eyes pleading. I hesitated, then nodded, stepping into his apartment again. He poured us coffee, black and strong, and we sat on his worn couch. I've been lying to myself for years, he admitted. In college, there was this guy. We were friends, close friends. I felt something, but I pushed it down. Told myself it was nothing. Married life, kids. That's the plan. I listened, my own story bubbling up. My parents disowned me when I came out, I shared. Said I was choosing sin over family. I haven't spoken to them in 5 years. The vulnerability bridged us, but it also highlighted the chasm. He had a fiancée, a future scripted in heteronormative ink. As weeks passed, our conversations deepened. Stolen moments in the hallway turned into late-night talks in his apartment. Always careful, doors locked. Paolo opened up about the pressure from his conservative family in Texas. His dad, a pastor, preaching against the gay agenda every Sunday. If they knew, he said one night, staring at the ceiling, they'd cut me off. Everything I've built, gone. I felt the weight of his words, mirroring my own scars. But attraction simmered beneath the surface, unspoken but electric. One evening, as we watched a movie, his hand brushed mine, and neither of us pulled away. It was innocent yet charged with possibility. But guilt gnawed at me. Sarah, did she suspect? I pictured her, from the photos he'd shown me, bright smile, planning their dream wedding. Was I the villain here, tempting him from his path? The tension built like a pressure cooker. Paolo started canceling dates with Sarah, claiming work stress. I saw the toll. Bags under his eyes, forced smiles. I love her, he confessed during one of our talks. But with you, it's different. Real. The word real stung, implying his life with her was fake. I challenged him. Then what? You break her heart? Your family's? For what? A fling. He shook his head. It's not a fling. But I don't know if I can upend everything. That night, as I left, he hugged me tightly, and I felt his resolve cracking. Back in my apartment, I stared at my phone, tempted to call my estranged sister, the only family member who might understand. But pride stopped me. Instead, I journaled, pouring out the conflict, the joy of connection versus the ethics of secrecy. The secrecy became our prison. Paolo and I met in neutral places now. Coffee shops on the outskirts of the city, parks where no one knew us. Chicago's bustling streets offered anonymity, but every glance over our shoulders reminded us of the stakes. One afternoon in Grant Park, under the bare winter trees, he took my hand briefly. This feels right, he whispered. But right for whom? Sarah called him constantly, her voice echoing through his phone speaker as we sat in a diner. Honey, are you okay? You've been distant. He lied smoothly, just busy with the merger at work. I watched him, heart aching. Was this love or destruction disguised as passion? My own life unraveled subtly. At work, my manager noticed my distractions, wrong orders, spilled drinks. Everything all right, Ethan? She asked. I nodded, but inside, turmoil raged. Nights alone, I'd replay our moments. The way Paolo laughed at my jokes, the depth in his eyes when he shared childhood stories of suppressing his feelings to fit in. My dad would say, "Be a man, Paolo. No weakness." It echoed my father's words, "You're disappointing us, son." The parallels bonded us, but also amplified the fear. What if this blew up? I'd lose the fragile peace I'd found in Chicago. Then came the first crack. Sarah showed up unannounced at our building one evening. I heard her voice in the hall as I cracked my door. Surprise! I brought dinner. Paolo's apartment door opened, and I glimpsed her hug him. Jealousy twisted in my gut. Not just for him, but for the normalcy she represented. Later that night, he texted, "Can't talk. She's staying over." I paced my room, anger bubbling. Was I just a side thing? The next day, he knocked on my door, looking haggard. I told her I wasn't feeling well, sent her home early. We argued for the first time. "You can't have both worlds, Paolo," I snapped. "Choose." He buried his face in his hands. "I know, but breaking off the engagement, it'll destroy her. And me." The conversation ended in tears, his mostly. As he left, I wondered if I was pushing too hard, or not hard enough. Weeks turned into a fragile routine. We'd meet, talk, share stolen touches that never crossed lines but teetered on them. Paolo started therapy secretly, grappling with his identity. The therapist says it's internalized homophobia. He shared one night over takeout in my apartment. Years of denying who I am. I nodded, proud but terrified. My own sessions resurfaced old wounds, abandonment issues from my family. "You're worth it," I told him, but doubt crept in. Society's whispers were loud. Gay men as homewreckers, straight guys experimenting. Was I enabling his confusion? The pressure from his family mounted. His mother called, excited about wedding plans. "We're booking the church, Paolo. Your dad's so proud." He hung up, pale. "I can't do this," he said, collapsing on my couch. We held each other, the first real embrace since that kiss. It was comfort, not passion, but it ignited something deeper. "What if we run away?" he joked weakly. I laughed, but the idea lingered. Chicago felt too small now, the walls closing in. One weekend, Paolo's best friend from college, Mike, visited. They went out for beers and I stayed hidden. But Mike sensed something. You seem off, man. Everything good with Sarah? Paolo deflected, but later confessed to me. Mike's the type who'd out me if he knew. Paranoia set in. I started questioning every interaction. Did the doorman notice our late-night visits? The building gossip? Then the betrayal seed was planted. Sarah found a text from me on his phone. Innocent about borrowing sugar but suspicious. Who's Ethan? She asked. Paolo panicked. Said I was just a neighbor needing help. But the lie weighed on him. That night he came to me distraught. I almost told her everything. We talked till dawn, weighing options. Come clean? End it? The moral quandary tore at us. Honesty versus hurt. If I choose you, he said, I lose my family. If I choose her, I lose myself. I had no answers, only empathy. As the sun rose, we parted, the tension thicker than ever. Spring thawed Chicago's ice, but our situation froze in limbo. Paolo postponed wedding dress shopping with Sarah, citing work. She grew frustrated, arguments echoing through the walls. I overheard one. Are you cheating, Paolo? Be honest. He denied it, but the seed of doubt sprouted. Guilt consumed me. I wasn't the other woman, but the other man, equally destructive. My friends noticed my withdrawal. At a bar one night with my coworker Jake, who knew I was gay, I almost confessed. Hypothetically, I said, if a straight guy kisses you, Jake raised an eyebrow. Run, Ethan. Those stories end in heartbreak. Paolo's therapy progressed, but so did his internal war. I think I'm bisexual, he admitted during a walk along Lake Michigan. Waves crashed, mirroring his turmoil. But my family, they'd see it as a choice, a wrong one. I shared my coming out story in detail, the letter to my parents, their silence, then the disowning email. It hurt, but I survived. He squeezed my hand. You're brave. But bravery felt hollow when his ring still gleamed. The confrontation came unexpectedly. Sarah rifled through his phone while he showered, finding more texts. Nothing explicit, but emotional. She stormed to my door, banging loudly. Who are you to him? She screamed when I opened it. Paolo rushed out, towel-clad, face ashen. Sarah, wait. But she pieced it together. You're with him. The hallway became a battlefield. She slapped him, tears streaming. How long? Was it all a lie? He stammered apologies, but she fled, slamming the building door. Paolo crumpled against the wall. It's over, he whispered. I helped him inside, but victory tasted bitter. I'd wanted this, but not like this, raw, painful. The aftermath was chaos. Sarah called his parents, spilling everything. His phone blew up with messages. Disgraceful. From his dad. Come home, we'll fix this. From his mom. Paolo shut down, staring blankly. They want me to go to counseling, conversion therapy disguised as prayer. Rage boiled in me. Don't go. Stay here with me. But doubt flickered in his eyes. What if they're right? What if this is a phase? He packed a bag that night, heading to a hotel for space. I felt abandoned, echoes of my family's rejection. Alone, I called my sister, Mia, after years of silence. Ethan? She answered, shocked. I poured out the story. He's worth fighting for, she said softly. But fight fair. Her words lingered, a glimmer of family reconciliation. Paolo returned 2 days later, resolute. I'm ending the engagement officially. We met in a quiet cafe. He showed me the text to Sarah. I'm sorry. I can't marry you because I'm in love with someone else. My heart soared, but reality crashed. Your job? Friends. He shrugged. I'll figure it out. But the price was immediate. His parents cut financial ties, his dad disinviting him from family events. Our relationship blossomed tentatively. First dates in hidden spots, hands intertwined under tables. But society loomed. At a pride event I dragged him to, he panicked at the crowds. What if someone from work sees? His finance firm was conservative. Rumors could cost his career. Summer heat amplified the pressure. Paolo moved in with me temporarily, his apartment lease ending amid the drama. Cohabitation revealed cracks. His habits clashed with mine, but more, his unresolved identity. I miss the simplicity, he confessed one night, staring at old photos with Sarah. Jealousy flared. Then go back, I snapped. Arguments escalated, words like weapons. You're pushing me away, he accused. No, you're not committing, I retorted. His family intervened. His brother flew in, ambushing us at home. Paolo, this isn't you. Come home. The brother glared at me, calling me the temptation. Paolo defended me, but weakly. After he broke down. They're my blood. I held him, but resentment grew. Was I worth the sacrifice? Work suffered for both. Paolo's boss questioned his focus. Whispers spread. He considered quitting, but bills piled. I picked up extra shifts, exhaustion setting in. Friends divided. Mine supported, his ghosted him. One night Mike called. Dude, you're throwing your life away for a phase? Paolo hung up, furious. See? Everyone thinks it's wrong. Turning point. My parents reached out via Mia. They want to talk, she said. Hope flickered. We drove to Ohio, Paolo supporting me. The meeting was tense. My dad stiff, Mom tearful. We were wrong, Dad admitted grudgingly. But this lifestyle, Paolo interjected politely. It's not a lifestyle, sir. It's who we are. The visit ended awkwardly, but a door cracked open. Back in Chicago, Paolo's resolve strengthened. He came out at work, facing backlash but also allies. It's freeing, he said, but freedom cost, promotion denied, isolation. Our love deepened, but shadows lingered. One evening, Sarah texted him, I forgive you, but I hate what you did. Guilt resurfaced. Betrayal struck from within. During a fight about finances, Paolo blurted, maybe I rushed this. Maybe I need space. Hurt, I accused him of regret. He left for a walk, returning late. Suspicion gnawed. I checked his phone. Wrong, I know. Finding messages to an old flame, a guy from college. Confused. Missed talking. My world tilted. Confrontation exploded. You're talking to him? He admitted. Just venting. Nothing more. But trust fractured. We separated briefly, him crashing with a new friend. Loneliness hit hard. I reflected on my choices. Pursuing him, ignoring red flags. Was love worth the wreckage? Reconciliation came slowly. Paolo apologized profusely, cutting contact with the ex. I was scared, he explained. Losing everything at once. Therapy together helped, unpacking traumas, building communication. But society pushed back. At a family wedding, mine, via Mia's invite, stares followed us. My uncle muttered slurs. Paolo held firm, but later confessed, it hurts. His parents softened marginally, Christmas card, no invite. Progress? Or crumbs? Chicago's LGBTQ community embraced us, events fostering belonging. But internal conflicts persisted. Paolo dreamed of kids. Adoption loomed, but fears of judgment. A major decision. Paolo proposed relocating to San Francisco, more accepting. Fresh start. Excitement mixed with dread. Leaving jobs. Friends. I agreed, but doubt whispered. Packing unearthed memories. Sarah's ring, returned via mail. Keep it, her note said bitterly. The move amplified tensions. Job hunts stressful, apartment tiny. Paolo's mood swings worsened. Did I ruin my life? He asked one night. I reassured, but exhaustion mounted. A job offer for him in tech came, but required denying his identity subtly. They don't know, he said. Ethical dilemma. Compromise for stability? Betrayal resurfaced. I discovered he'd been emailing his dad, considering reconciliation on their terms. Attending church, praying away feelings. Just exploring, he claimed. Devastated, I confronted. Choose, them or us. Tears flowed. I want both. Impossible. We hit rock bottom. Separation loomed. In therapy, truths emerged. His fear of abandonment, my trust issues. We can fix this, the therapist said. but fixes cost effort. Awakening dawned during a hike in California hills. Paolo stopped, gazing at the view. I love you, Ethan. Fully. We recommitted, boundaries set. But sacrifices continued. His career stalled. Mine flourished in a progressive cafe. Imbalance bred resentment. Society's acceptance varied. Friends lost. New ones gained. Years blended, but scars remained. In San Francisco, we built a life, married quietly, adopted a dog as family proxy. Paolo's career rebounded in an inclusive firm. My family mended slowly. His radio silence until his mom's illness. He visited alone, facing judgment. You're still our son, she whispered, but his dad remained cold. The visit stirred old wounds. They'll never accept us, he said upon return. Our love endured, but not without cost. Friends envied our fairy tale, ignorant of the battles. Betrayals, small lies, omitted truths tested us. One night, over wine, Paolo admitted lingering doubts. What if I chose wrong? Honesty hurt, but strengthened. Society evolved, but prejudices lingered. Pride parades we marched, but Paolo sometimes hesitated. Too exposed. I understood, but it chafed. Reflection came in quiet moments. The kiss that started it all. A spark of truth amid lies. Damages. Sarah's broken heart. Families fractured. Careers derailed. Gains. Authenticity. Love. In the end, we sat on our balcony. City lights twinkling. Worth it? I asked. He smiled. Yes, but questions lingered. Was Paolo's decision to pursue his true self, despite the pain inflicted on others, ultimately right or wrong?